First climbed in 1874 by a local guide leading an English expedition, Mount Elbrus has always had a colorful history. In 1942, the Elbrus region fell to advancing German armies seeking control of the Caspian Sea oil reserves. Under Soviet control at the end of World War II, the Caucasus Mountains all but disappeared from the view of the Western world. Guarded by a jealous communist regime, Elbrus remained off-limits to Western climbers until the collapse of Soviet communism and the fall of the Iron Curtain. But strife and conflict have not departed from this war-torn region. And today the valleys around Elbrus echo with the rattles of ethnic war. Now in the year of the millennium, half a world away in Denver, Colorado, we find ourselves checking in for a British Airways flight to St. Petersburg. Our final destination? The Caucasus region of southern Russia, said to be the most unstable region of this country that spans 12 time zones. Making this journey are two veteran Warren Miller adventurers. Kina Pickett is a native of Woodstock, Vermont, an accomplished backcountry skier and former racer who has competed all over the world. He's still never been further from home than he will be on this trip to Russia. Rex Wehrman is the 1999 U.S. Extreme Skiing Champion and resident of Montezuma, Colorado, a mountain town at 10,000 feet.
Your tickets from London to St. Petersburg, they're right under here, along with the boarding card. So I've already got you on the flight. All you need to do is go to the gate and check in.
As on any Warren Miller adventure, our future promises to be eventful. 7 time zones later, we touch down in London, where we'll change planes and pick up another member of our team. Danny Caruso is an experienced backcountry snowboarder and high-altitude mountaineer. Once a resident of Alta, Utah, he now lives in the Swiss Alps. Having joined up with our self-appointed cruise director, we point ourselves toward a historic Russian gateway and take the next hopeful steps toward the roof of the continent.
Wait in lounge. We're waiting in the lounge. So we're like that.
Our second flight of the day sets down in St. Petersburg. We clear customs with minor delay. Rex, on his first trip outside North America, finds Russian customs officials just as he imagined.
You must sign, you must sign. I tried to take her pen to sign it and she ripped it out of my hands. Don't you touch my pen, you're like a child. Go over there. And I'm just like, oh no, here we go. Here we go.
Now on Russian soil and suffering culture shock and jet lag, we fall victim to typical Russian travel delays.
No, our flight's not going today.
In our case, a canceled flight. Continuing on to Mineralny Vody, our gateway to Elbrus, won't be possible today. While we wait, we'll be tourists in this most historic of Russian cities. An ancient city on the banks of the Neva River, St. Petersburg historically has been the port through which travel and commerce were conducted with Western Europe. Under the gaze of Peter the Great, for whom the city is named, we take in the sights of his city. Near the Winter Palace, we are bombarded by local entrepreneurs. We pick up a few souvenirs in an attempt to fit in. Once one of the great cities of the world, St. Petersburg was left to rot during the decades of Soviet rule when the capital moved to Moscow. Renamed Leningrad by the Soviet government, St. Petersburg today is beginning to recover the brightness and cheer that once identified it as the loveliest of European cities. What once was the greatest city of Tsarist Russia now races at a more modern pace. While speeding along, we are reminded of the different scene that awaits us in the south, where the fast pace and convenience of the West is yet to arrive. Still, we hope to find in the Caucasus region evidence of a nation that continues to awaken after years of silence and decades of gray. The music that plays so freely in the north of this nation is yet to be played in the south. We don't expect to encounter the pace, style, and modern ways of St. Petersburg once we make our way to the Caucasus Mountains. St. Petersburg is a hopeful start to a fateful journey.